يعني some would have a Toyota or Nissan or whatever you have. This is so important. This is how we come here to the masjid. I guess every single person come. إلا من رحم الله. Did anybody come walking to the masjid? Everybody's riding. Everybody came riding something. So see how important it is. Without it, يعني it's so important that some scholars, you know, they would. We know that the عقد التأمين في أصله يعني في مشاكل كثيرة. The contract of insurance is mainly based on something and on some wrong ideas, but they would say it's halal when it comes to the car or riding, because that's so important. You cannot live without it. We're not talking about this, by the way. That was just an introduction. What did the prophets? What do you ride yourself? You ride a maybe Toyota or something. What did the Prophet ﷺ ride? What was the mount of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? مطية النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ركوبة أو المركب. نعم. Camel. Japanese or mule or camel. Okay, بالقلقلة. البغل. طيب. كان له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان له البغلة يسمى دلدل وحمار يسمى يعفور حمار وكان كثير من وكان له أكثر من ناقة. لكن أشهرهم على الإطلاق, the most famous ride of the Prophet ﷺ, the favorite of the Prophet ﷺ was Al-Qaswaa. Al-Qaswaa has a name. He even gave her a name, She-Camel, by the name of Al-Qaswaa. Al-Qaswaa. Qaswaa was bought by Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. He bought 2 camels when Nabi ﷺ was in the final stages of the Meccan period, and they were intending to make hijrah, and he knew it's coming soon, so he bought 2 camels, one for himself and one he intended to give as a gift for the Prophet ﷺ. But when the time came and he said, and Nabi ﷺ told him about the hijrah, the time, he gave him this, and he said, قَالَ بِالثَّمَنِ, I take it, but I have to pay the price. And he gave him 400 for it, and from that time on, believe it or not, I was reading and I was preparing this, and I felt some kind of jealous of this camel. I mean, this is probably the first time I feel jealous from an animal. From that time on, you see this animal يعني قاسم مشترك في حوادث عظيمة من أعظم حوادث الإسلام. You see this camel attending, witnessing such important events of Islam. We will talk about Hajjat al-Wada', Fath Makkah. You talk about Ghazwa al-Hudaybiyah. You talk about some other events, al-Hijrah itself. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam got it from Abu Bakr, and the first thing she would be used for to start this special relationship with the most special person, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, being his right, the camel being his right, is al-Hijrah. He migrated on the back of this camel, that was his car, or his right, to make the Hijrah. And هناك قصة يعني يذكرها أهل السير, وإن كان علماء الحديث تكلموا في سندها, لكن مذكورة في كتب السير. It's very famous that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to Al-Madinah on the back of Al-Qaswaa, this She-Camel, named Al-Qaswaa. He named it Al-Qaswaa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And then he stayed for 3-4 days in Quba, and then he moved to Al-Madinah. And then where should he stay? He doesn't have a place to go. Obviously, there's no hotels or anything. Everybody was happy to offer Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam his house to come but then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and everybody was trying to take Qutam al-Naqa, to take the camel to his house, but he said, دعوها فإنها مأمورة. He said, leave her. She is being kind of guided, until she came all the way in front of the house of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, and she kind of sat down, and the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam decided this is going to be the place that he will be with, or the person that he will stay with. After that, so many other situations, but I'm going to go over only these 2 or 3 situations. The next situation, or the next incident that Al-Qaswaa appears in there clearly is in Ghazwa al-Hudaybiyah, when the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was coming, or Al-Hudaybiyah, when he was coming to Mecca from Medina after 8 years, or around less than 8 years, actually after 6.5 years, and he was coming to make Umrah. He saw in a dream that he is making tawaf around the Kaaba, and the interpretation is that let's go and make Umrah. So he got the Sahaba, and they were going, not for fight or anything, just to make Umrah, but then they stopped them. They stopped them at the borders of Mecca. Then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, every time he was trying to push the camel to move forward at Hudaybiyah, at this place, very close to Mecca, she would go to any direction, right, left, or behind, but forward, no. She will kind of sit down or barakat. حتى الصحابة قالوا خلعت القصواء قال والله ما خلعت وما ذلك لها بخلق. He said by Allah, the Sahaba said, well, the camel jibbed, refused to, this haramat. Do we have any special English word for that, for an animal to refuse to? I mean, the animal stopped, khala'at, which is something like
stubborn.
She got stubborn somehow, not responding to the order. So, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam see this, he said by Allah, he did not do that, but وَلَكِنْ حَبَسَهَا حَابِسُ الْفِيلِ. But the one that stopped the elephant is the same one who stopped her. The story of the elephant, in the same year Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was born, when Abraha, this leader, came from Yemen, and he was bringing a lot of elephants, and one big elephant in the front, and he was thinking his goal was to take down Al-Kaaba, and they come all the way, just like, 5-6 miles, less than 5-6 miles from Kaaba, and they would push and poke the elephant to go, and he just sat down. They take him back to Al-Yaman, he would run, he would go with them. Get him back to Mecca, no, he would stop. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is referring to this incident. He said the one that stopped the elephant is the same one, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the same one who stopped. Allah doesn't want this to continue. قال والله يعني لا يسألوني خطة يعظمون فيها حرمة الله أو حرمة البيت إلا أجبتهم عليها. He said by Allah, if those people would ask me, would offer me any plan that includes some kind of respecting the rules of Allah, or the sanctuary, the haram, or the house of Allah, I would respond to them. Because he knew there is kind of order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that stopped this camel from moving any further. You're talking about a camel that, well, obviously everything in the universe is run by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but this special camel that the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam would see this left, this little thing that he is defending it, and he said, Wallahi, kalla wallahi, ma khalaq, wa ma dhalika laha bikhuluq. He is defending an animal against dhulm, because they obviously said khalaq, which is describing this animal, even if it's an animal with something bad, like she got stubborn, she doesn't want to go. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam got like kind of serious. He said, no, by Allah, she doesn't do that. And this is not a khuluq, this is not a character. He knows, I know my animal, that's not the character of my animal. وَمَا ذَلِكَ لَهَا بِخُلُقٍ وَلَكِنْ حَبَسَهَا حَابِسُ. He is defending an animal. Sometimes you see big dhulm happening to your friend, to somebody next to you, to even entire countries, and some people might not even care at all. That's an animal being wronged in front of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and he kind of defended it. حَبَسَهَا حَابِسُ الْفِيلِ. You see this camel again. Well, we don't want to go to the detail. There was also Al-Abba, Naqa by the name of Al-Abba. Is it the same one? Some scholars would say it is the same Naqa or the same she-camel. It was called Al-Qaswaa, and sometimes they call it Al-Abba, or probably it was a different one. قالوا لم تكن تسبق. This she-camel of the Prophet ﷺ, she was so fast that no other camel would, when they race with it, nobody would win. She would be always winning. She was the fastest. But one day حتى جاء أعرابي على قعود له فسابق العضاء يعني فسبقت فشق ذلك على الصحابة فسألوه ماذا بكم يعني مشكلة مفيش قالوا سبقت العضاء قال كان حقا والله كان حقا على الله عز وجل ألا يرفع شيئا من الدنيا إلا وضعه. So this camel was the fastest, and then one day a Bedouin came from outside Medina with a small camel or young camel, and they had a race. And an Abba, or this camel, fastest camel of the Prophet ﷺ that belonged to the Prophet ﷺ, on one side, and this camel on the other side. And the camel of the Prophet ﷺ lost for the first time. And it was so hard for the Muslims. Everybody was looking sad. How could this happen? But the Nabi ﷺ said, well, what is wrong with you? He said, you just lost. I mean, that was the fastest camel. He said, wallahi, it is the rule, or it is like a universal rule, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never take something up from this dunya unless it will go down. The curve will never go up until it goes down. This is life. This is life. يعني خلقكم من ضعف ثم جعل من بعد ضعف قوة ثم جعل من بعد قوة ضعف وشيبة. Human being, even the phase of our life. Allah created us weakness and then strong and then weakness again. So everything in life, day begins and then it grows and then it's midday and then it recedes again. That's everything in this life. He said, well, it's kind of a Muslim Allah, or kind of that Allah set it as a strong rule that nothing will go up in this life until or unless it goes down again. This is a rule. So yes, it's the camel of the Prophet, it's the fastest, but it will happen that. And also it gives us an idea or notice that they used to race, they used to have some fun sometimes, even though their fun was dedicated for preparation for the military and everything, but they had fun, and obviously they knew it's in the back of their mind that they had a lot of races. She always won. So they had a lot of races, but this time close. Al-Qaswaa also appeared in Fath Makkah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam got in the back of Al-Qaswaa and the conquest or the liberation of Mecca. حتى جاء بها عند البيت. أنا أخاه عند البيت صلى الله عليه وسلم. He sat down by the house, or sat the camel down, the she-camel, by the house, يعني far from the house, and then he started talking to people and everything. She was there attending Fath Makkah, and he was taking behind him a couple of the companions on Al-Qaswaa. She was also there in Al-Hajj al-Akbar, or Hajj al-Wada', the only Hajj of the Prophet ﷺ, or the farewell pilgrimage, and he gave khutbah even sometimes in Hajj, during Hajj, because he gave more than one khutbah during this Hajj. The one in Mina probably was in the back of his camel. He threw the jamarat on the back of his camel. He was there. It was there. Al-Qaswaa was there with the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He even made started أهل بالتوحيد حتى إذا استوى على البيداء وكذا واستوت به راحلته وكان على البيداء أهل بالتوحيد. He started saying لبيك اللهم لبيك when he got in the back of his camel. So this camel witnessed this very blessed journey of Hajj of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and 130,000 people with him. She witnessed it all from the beginning to the end, and with the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Such a special, animal. I'm not sure if we can call it the path of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She was definitely the mount of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was defending her. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taking good care of her. He was racing also in her, and everybody. She was special not only to him, actually to everybody around the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. يعني أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله. جزاكم الله خير. صلى الله عليه وسلم محمد وعلى آله وسلم.